for Ark, for the blue and green ark adrift in the dark. B is for beginning, for the birth of all that surrounds the blue and green ark adrift in the dark. C is for chaos and cauldron, and the creation of all who sail in the blue and green ark adrift in the dark. D is for the dinosaur and the dodo, symbols of all that have long vanished from the blue and green ark. E is for the eagle and its eyrie, and for the eggs the eyrie shelters. It's for the emerald and elderberry, the emu and elephant, for the eye that can see all things on that blue and green ark adrift in the dark. F is for fire, for the fire around which Neolithic man crouched, for the flames that kept at bay the saber-toothed tiger, the perishing cold, the unknown demons. It is for the falcon and the flamingo, for the flight of migrating birds and the frontiers beneath them. It is for fish, for those golden submarines floating beneath lily pads. And G is for the gorilla snuggling down in its gigantic nest, for the giraffe, tallest of living animals. It is for the gadfly on the gillyflower, for the gleaming phosphorescent glowworm alive with its own light. H is for the hawk moth, for the humming of its soft wings as it hovers over flowers in the evening garden. It is for the honeybee in the hive, for the honeybird and the horse chomping grass in the wet fields. I is for icebergs, for those massive glittering bulks of ice that creak and groan in the Arctic silence, that rest like white skullcaps on the head of the blue and green ark. J is for joy in the scent of jasmine, for the jaybird chattering in ecstasy. It's for the juniper with its dark purple berries, for the taste of jelly beans, for the best joke in the world. K is for the kingfisher flitting across rivers, a blue sapphire made out of feathers, its plumage so like the colours of the blue and green ark. L is for language, for the language of the human tongue, for the language of the lion's roar, for the language of the bee's dance, for the language made by the cricket's wings, for the language of the heart beating in the womb. It's for the language of all things that communicate on the blue and green ark adrift in the dark. M is for the mammoth buried for centuries beneath a wilderness of snow and ice. It is for the mayfly that lives a single day, for the marigold at summer's end, a golden button ripped from summer's coat glowing in the tired garden. N is for the narwhal. Thrown up onto ancient shores, the skeleton of its twisted trunk gave birth to the legend of the unicorn. It's for the nuzzle of a fox, for the nose that sniffs out danger, for the night and its shadows creeping across the blue and green ark. O is for ocean, for the single ocean that covers the earth. Hardly able to comprehend its immensity, we split it into sections, we give it different names, its depths less known to us than the moon. And P is for the planets, for Mars with its red deserts and its canyons of melting permafrost, for Venus with its vast clouds of sulfuric acid, for Mercury formed by the sun's debris, for Pluto a tiny ball of frozen gas on the edge of everything, for Jupiter with its storms that rage 1,000 years, for Saturn so light in density it might float in water, for remote Uranus, for Neptune. Earth is so unique among them. How much more precious then the tiniest poppy seed, how awesome and godlike the tiniest moth clinging to a blade of grass on this unique blue and green ark. Q was for the quagga, hunted to extinction a few lifetimes ago, half horse, half zebra, a beautiful pony-sized creature. It is for the quilly, that majestic brown hawk that followed it into oblivion, its fate the same. Now only its ghost hovers over the Blue and Green Ark. And R is for rainforests. Within them, from the dark green floors to the top of the cathedral-sized trees, live half the animal and plant species that exist on the Blue and Green Ark. S is for the stars that shiver and burn beyond the rim of the earth, for the snowdrops drenched by spring rain, for the nightingale's song, for the hissing snake, for the moon's swollen seas and the silence of underground caverns. T is for time, for the 20 billion years that have melted and gone since our solar system began. It's for the thistledown blown by a child to count the hours, for the tick of a watch, for the tabby cat and the tortoise asleep in the shade of the tulip tree. U is for the utopias unattained, for the unborn and curling like ferns in the womb, for the umbilical cord linking us to the Blue and Green Ark. V is for the volcanoes that straddle the Earth's broken crust. It's for the vibrations that run along a spider's web, for the vampire bat hovering over the sleeping horse, lapping blood as gently as a kitten laps milk. W is for winter, and for the wolf trotting beneath icicles that hang like catkins in the lonely, snow-covered forest. It is for the whale and its brethren, with the half-ton hearts beating like gigantic drums, with the songs that echo across all the oceans of the Blue and Green Ark. X is for the X-rays that see what the eye cannot see, that can peer deep into all things living on the Blue and Green Ark. And Y is for the yolk of an egg, yellow as the sun that nourishes all that the egg encloses, as the sun's warmth nourishes all things on the Blue and Green Ark. Z is for the zodiac. In that map of heaven drawn with stars we read our futures. And it is for zero, for the futures we will not have, for the nothing we will become unless we cherish the Blue and Green Ark adrift in the dark.